Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Mo again. In this section, we're going to be talking about different special groups. We know we covered the RSAT, which means I delegate control to specific tasks for a junior admin. Well, in this case, what I'm going to be actually doing is I'm going to talk about some specific groups: domain admins, enterprise admins, domain users, and the local administrators group. I know we've been talking about this a lot, but I want to actually perform the actual lab for that. So, watch this. Let me go back to my server. I have an actual OU called admins. I'm going to create a few user accounts. Let's say 3 accounts. All right. So I'm going to call this, let's say, admin one, or let's say administrator one. Okay. Just like an actual administrator. So we know the difference. Administrator one, and go next. Remove the check mark from the box. Next and finish. I'm going to create administrator two, right? And administrator three. So you can see the difference between all these different accounts. And administrator three. So remember, when I do a copy, it copies everything. It's like a template. Administrator three, and let me log on and show you in a moment what I'm going to be looking at right now. So by default, if I go to the users container and I double click on domain users, what is domain users? If you're just a member of the domain users, that means you only have read access. You see that? By default, everybody goes to the domain users. So watch this. If I go to both 10 machines and I try to log on as administrator one, I only have user rights everywhere. Okay. I'm not going to have any type of full control. And let me go to the second 10 machine and log on as administrator one. And if I try to log on to the domain controller as administrator one, it's not going to work. For me to log on to a domain controller, I better have full control, which means at least I need domain admin rights. So watch this. Let me just go ahead and log in here as administrator one. And no password. Look at the error message. I can't. I need to be a member of the domain admin groups to actually do this. Let me go back in as administrator and see how this actually works out for us. What I'm going to do is, while we're waiting for both clients, I'm going to add administrator two to the domain admins group. Watch this. So I'm going to go to users and computers. I don't need to do enterprise admins because I only have one actual domain. Remember, enterprise admins is at the forest level, which is the parent level, which is right over here. If you're a member of enterprise admins, that means you have full control to the entire forest. And if you're a member of domain admins, you have full control just to that domain. So I'm going to double click domain admins, members, and I'm going to add administrator two. See that? Administrator two. Then okay. So if I go back, how do I know if I have full control to a system or not? If I could change the computer name, that means I have full control to the system. So if I go properties and I try to change the actual computer name, so I scroll down and say advanced system settings, there you go, user account control, I can't. This is a second 10 machine. Let me go to the first 10 machine and see. Go to this PC, properties, and I'm going to scroll down and do advanced system settings. And I should get the same thing, user account control. I'm a member of the domain users group right now. Watch this. If I double click domain users, if I'm just a member of this group, I only have read access. Remember what I did? I added administrator 2 to the domain admins. So let me try and log in as administrator 2 to both Windows 10 machines. And you're going to see that I'm going to have full control. Let's do it on this computer too. So you can see the difference between both and on the domain controller. All right. So I'm going to sign out and sign on as what? Administrator two. So let me go ahead and do this administrator two, which is a member of the domain admins group. Oh, it looks like, oh, the password is blank. There we go. And if I try to log in over here as administrator two, look what's going to happen. I should have full control everywhere. If I could log on to a domain controller, guess what? That means I have full control everywhere. It means I have full control to the entire domain. But I could still be a member of the local administrator group of that server, which means I only have full control to that server. Let me log on as administrator two. And let's see. So if I check my domain controller, if I could log on, that means I have full control to this machine. Let me check my other accounts. So I should have full control everywhere, both 10 machines, because I'm a member. Remember this? I'm a member of the domain admins. So if I go over here, users and computers, and take a look at the configuration. So if I go to the users container and I check the domain admins, members, administrator 2 is a member of that. Again, as I said, I don't have to do enterprise because I only have one domain right now. Let me minimize this. It's almost there. All right. So we can test the actual permissions. And then I want to do a local administrators group, which means you only have full control just to that box. So we could see the administrators group. Well, here, let's take a look. Click on this, right click this PC, properties, and go ahead and look at the advanced system settings. And look, I didn't get the message. I have full control to the system. Okay, good. And if I go right over here and do the same thing, watch this, go to this PC, properties, and click on advanced system settings. I should not get a message. I have full control everywhere. See that? I could change. Well, let me show you what I'm going to do on one machine. So I'm going to go to this local machine, which is 10.1, and add administrator 3 to the local administrator group. That means administrator 3 will only have full control just to this box. Here, see that? Administrators, add administrator 3. Administrator 3. So administrator 3 is going to have full control only on this machine. Let's take a look and just sign out and sign out over here. I'm going to log on as administrator 3 to both boxes. And you can see administrator 3 is going to have full control only to the first 10 machine. So let's take a look and see. Other user, administrator 3, and let me log on, all right? And same thing over here, administrator 3, let me log on. So you can see the difference. Of course, I cannot log on as administrator 3 to the domain controller. Let me try that. I'm going to sign out and try to sign on as administrator 3, and it's not going to work. Because for me to log on to a DC, I have to have full control to that DC itself. And this only has full control to a local machine. Did it work? That's weird. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Which user did I log in with? That was like actually awkward. Let me see again. Control delete. Oh, it's administrator. I was like, what? It looks like the numlock was not on. Administrator 3. There we go. See, I can't. Okay, good. That was funny. All right, let's take a look and see on these machines over here. So I should have full control to this machine over here, the first 10 machine, and I should only have read access to the second 10 machine. That's what I want to actually check. Let's give it a moment. All right. And let me click on the folder. Right click this PC, properties, right? Watch this. Advanced system settings and computer name and change. And look at this. I could change, but look at this. Administrator 3 is not going to be able to change the computer name on this box. Let's give this a moment. Advanced system settings, and look, there you go. Okay, so remember, there's domain admins, enterprise admins, administrators, domain users. So now we know the difference between all of them. So we're going to see you now our next section, which is GPOs. And guess what? I still need one server and two clients. So I'm going to need server 1 and the 10 machines, and you'll see why. So we'll see you guys soon. All right, everybody. Bye. Later.